What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Rain Day Gaming. Today, I've got a very special conversation I want to have, which is 5 things I'm still not sure about in Apex Legends Season 4 that I thought I would know by now, how good they are, whether they'll be valuable, whether they'll be in the meta from legends like Revenant to weapons that we're using it that have been introduced. I want to talk about all the surprising things that I still really don't know about Season 4 after having put in tens to 20s of hours in this latest season. Now, I've been traveling a little bit and doing some work, so obviously there's always more room to grow as far as learning and discovering the answers, and hopefully you guys have some answers on this as well. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the new weapon. I'm going to talk about the current weapon meta and competitive. I'm going to talk about Revenant and if he can be a top tier legend, and I'm going to talk about a couple things you may not be thinking about, like the new map areas and how they've been impacting the game. All in all, this is a great video for a topic of discussion, so if you have an idea, go ahead and list it in the comment section below. Leave a like before we start the video, and remember to subscribe if you guys want to stay tuned for more stuff like this here on the channel. So the first thing that really I'm still unsure about in Apex Legends Season 4 is the Sentinel. Now, the Sentinel is the brand new weapon. You're not watching it here in the gameplay behind me, but the Sentinel is the brand new sniper rifle in Apex Legends Season 4, and it was touted as being this bolt-action sniper, this heavy-hitting, fun machine that we could actually use and would probably become the premier sniper in what is considered a sniping map of World's Edge. The problem is, day one, my question was, why am I using the shield battery, and is it worth it to take away shields guaranteed when the shot from it is pretty much going to take away, if I hit a headshot or even a body shot, the majority of someone's shields anyway? Is it redundant if this person has, only 25 shield left and it's charged with a shield battery and I get rid of that 25? I'm getting rid of it either way. I don't know if the spillover damage would matter. If you could add that, it might be a little OP if that's the case. But the fact that it's only impacting shields makes me not want to use it as much, and I think that kind of took the hype away from the actual weapon. I mean, considering that the longbow fires faster, it's still reliable from distance, and that people are used to it, the Sentinel has an uphill battle as far as being definitely better than any of the other choices. And it doesn't even rival the Scout, which has a faster fire rate and essentially much more DPS because of that faster fire rate and really strong damage from when you're just shooting basic. 34, I believe, to the body, 64, 68 to the head. And these are really, really fast numbers that can come out. You can down someone very quickly, much faster than a Sentinel. And so it makes me wonder if this is truly going to be that type of weapon that you need. Remember also the Sentinel and the sniper ammo, it's a whole different ammo you have to carry versus light ammo, which synergizes really well with the usual things like an R301 or R99. Talk about that a little bit later in this video. That end up being the primary choices for people when they're choosing their weapon combos. So I'm still unsure about whether the Sentinel is going to be that go-to sniper in Season 4. I've got to play with it more. I want to do a dedicated video maybe, but I also want to hear your thoughts on that new weapon. Now moving on to number 2, a question that's always been on my mind: is the Havoc now legit? The Havoc, the energy weapon that you're, again, not watching in the footage below. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But the Havoc is an energy weapon that has been buffed from the end of time. It's gotten the select fire, which was a hop-up, giving it a hit scan projectile across the map. And they even in Season 3 took away the turbocharger for this, the extended mags for this towards the end of Season 3. And with Season 4 announced that it would be getting a buff to its mag size, it would be losing the turbocharger, but it would be instead gaining faster fire rate for these really damaging bullets. 18 to the body, 36 to the head, I believe, for the Havoc. 2 times headshot bonus, meaning that if you take somebody down when this thing is firing and you get a couple of good shots, they will be down before you know it. But for some reason, let me know if it's me, I'm still not using it that much. I mean, I was excited. I wanted to use it day 1, day 2, day 5, but then I just started picking up different weapons again. I started going back to the old stuff. Is the Havoc ever able to be buffed to the point where people will guarantee this is like the go-to weapon? And the bigger question is, do we even want that? I'm not sure. I think it's a good weapon that fits a role, but these buffs, do they really make it legit, or is it still playing the same role as being second fiddle to the R301s, the R99s, even the Flatlines and Spitfires and things like that people would rather have? Or is the Havoc actually legit this season? Still haven't figured that out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is it legit or is it not? All right, the other big thing, and this is for you who want to get better at the game, competitive. Will we see a new legend enter the top 4 of competitive play? Or is it the same? I mean, listen, we got Bloodhound buffs, so the ult is better, but I don't think that's going to push Bloodhound into the top 4. And let's just say who are the top 4: Wraith, Pathfinder, Gibraltar, and Watson. These are the 4 that are comprised most 95% of the competitive teams in Pro Apex Legends. It's what we saw when I was casting the tournament last month. It's what we've seen throughout the history of season 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's probably what we're going to see now. Now, many people are still worried about maybe, you know, what if there's somebody else that can jump in? Crypto had a lot of conversation about him. Can Crypto make the top 4? I'm unsure about it. I mean, yes, he provides a great bit of utility, and some of his buffs have really helped him and to synergize with Gibraltar, which a lot of people are playing. It's also, in Season 4, allowed you to not destroy your own Gibraltar shields, which is a huge boon if you were trying to set that team up, but you weren't feeling confident given that interaction. So now that's taken away, but does taking away that negative actually give Crypto a reason to be picked over a Pathfinder? You know, Watson, Gibraltar, Crypto? It's a little defensive, and it's also a little tactical, and it doesn't give you room to rotate. You've got to have a Wraith pretty much. So let's say Wraith, Gibraltar, Crypto. No Watson? I mean, somebody can hold a high ground, hold no grenades, hold position, get extra shield charge, and you're just scanning them while they do it. I mean, you got to be pretty aggressive. The teams that I see actually probably succeeding with the Crypto is something around maybe Pathfinder, Wraith, Crypto, or maybe, again, Gibraltar, Wraith, Crypto, and playing very, very aggressively around those 2 legends. You could even see some type of weird version of maybe a European Bloodhound, Wraith, Crypto. Obviously, you lose a lot of what Watson and Gibraltar bring, but if you wanted to go for full aggression, I feel like that would be fun. But again, I don't know if the top 4 have changed, guys. And let me know in the comment section below if you think they would. Those are just some wacky ideas. I really do think we'll just probably see the same top 4. Now, y'all may be thinking, why did he mention the new legend? It's because I'm mentioning him right now. Is Revenant going to be a top tier champion or legend? Now, the verdict is still out on this, guys. I mean, this has been in the jury room for hours and days and now months, it seems like. Can Revenant actually do what needs to be done to be considered a top tier legend? And it looked like his kit was going to have the potential to do that, but it seems like the practical use of his kit, the more play him, is that it's going to be an uphill battle. And again, when you talk about usurping the king, what do you have to do? If you're trying to take down Rome, okay, if you're trying to siege Rome in an army, with an army back in the day, what would you have to do to make sure that that actual place would fall? You know, you'd have to kill the emperor. You'd have to do it. If you let him get away and his lineage was still around and you took over the city temporarily, but people would rally to him and his bloodline and they would say, oh, you know what, this is like back in the day, you had to just finish it off. And if you cannot guarantee that you have finished it off, you know there's always a chance. 100 years later, we've seen, you know, Spartacus, we've seen Game of Thrones, you know, they will come back. Their sons and their daughters will come back and finish you off. That's the same thing in high-level Apex. If you don't finish off Wraith or you don't finish off Pathfinder, you give someone an obvious answer that, hey, this is better than those legends, it's super hard to ever usurp them until it becomes just obvious. And Revenant is not obvious. Watson at that time was obvious. Octane, never obvious. Revenant, not obvious. Not obvious. And it's very unfortunate because I think Revenant is such a cool legend and I think could actually be utilized well because the silence is one of the strongest abilities in the game. 10 seconds, no abilities? I mean, what's a Gibraltar without the abilities? Well, he's still got his gun shield. Damn it, he's good. All right, but really, what's a Wraith without her abilities? I mean, you look at that. But it's just unreliable as far as making sure you can guarantee it. Good Wraiths have a hard time doing that. And I think, you know, it's going to be a measure of what person can commit to Revenant strong enough and actually pioneer and champion that legend, being somebody that's used at a high level, that people see guides on how to. I can make a guide all I want. I'll give you the basics, but it doesn't mean that I'll be able to master it in the way that somebody like a really high level pro player could do. So I think that's going to be the onus. That'll be the difference. In Season 4, if you want to play the new legend, let me know what you've been thinking about when you play him and when you've played some of the other legends that you found a lot more success with. Maybe you feel like Revenant is your cup of tea, but I'm still just not sure if he's going to crack that top list. Let me know what you guys think. I honestly think Revenant is a great legend. He's my favorite legend right now. He's the one I'm trying to main because he's a little bit undervalued, and I want to kind of see where people are sleeping on him and hopefully kind of associate that with a lot of the gameplay on the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. We do a whole series on it for sure. All right, the final thing, the last thing that I want to mention is what I'm unsure about. You can see it right here, finally in the gameplay, a little Sentinel action, the R99, and of course the Harvester area. I actually have a bonus one, so we'll go into that very quickly afterwards. The Harvester area. Are these new map areas going to make a difference? Are these new map areas going to change the meta and the chokes? I really have no idea whether it's going to be fantastic or not for the competitive meta. I don't like landing right now in Hammond Robotics. I think it's an interesting landing spot, but a lot of these fights are very choke oriented, and I don't necessarily feel comfortable that there's going to be a huge amount of action here. The only thing that I found is that early on in season 4, there were a lot of in circles that ended in this area. So people are going to have to get used to understanding how to play around it. There are a lot of angles, there are a lot of high ground, there's a lot of out of bounds zones. These little fights right here on the ship are actually really intense, and there's some great angles you can take to really like head peek and not get hit. There's a lot of amazing moments that you can have at Hammond Robotics. But for whatever reason, because it's new, I think people have almost been avoiding it. And I just don't know if this is going to be a key part of competitive play, or if it's going to be a key part of the map that people spend a lot of time in. I've noticed myself kind of shifting away from actually landing there more and more. Well, that'll be, you know, we'll wait and see. Let me know what you guys think about that one in the comment section below. Hammond Robotics, the survey beacon, the weapon racks. Remember that area? I will say I do love the new capital city, and I think that is one of the best changes that they've ever made to any map ever in Apex Legends. I love Capital City now. Fragment East, Fragment West, so much fun. I land there pretty much every day. So maybe it's not about him and robotics. Maybe it's just about how much I love Capital City. I don't know, you guys let me know what you're thinking about that. All right, the final thing is the weapon meta, guys. The R99 was nerfed. The Wingman was technically nerfed as well. And guess what? These are still the weapons that everyone's using. So are we ever going to see a difference? Is there ever going to be a PK, Wingman, R99, no-show, no-go, for show in Apex Season 4? I don't know. Joe? Oh my God, I just really honestly don't know if we're ever going to see any weapon that's better than these two as a combo. You can nerf them, but the extended mags actually having, the base mag having more ammo in the bullets as well, it just makes these weapons still dangerous. And the Wingman, I think having a higher base mag makes it even better off of the start. I actually like these weapons more. I think that they're still the high level top tier meta, and I think you guys might consider that the truth. If you don't, leave a like in the comment section below and comment what you think I was wrong or right about in this video, and stay tuned for more content. Thanks so much for watching. Never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you all next time.